If this gets over 100 comments, I'll do it. Or I got myself up standing straight. Like standing straight was the hardest thing in the world. What this person watching is also understanding now is a new way to think about YouTube.
All right. Calvyn Justus, fiance, designer, business owner, Olympian. Welcome to the show.
Oh, there's a couple more.
Fashion model.
Inventor of exercises.
Inventor of exercise. Calvin did invent one exercise that was actually pretty good.
Got another one today.
Yeah, but that was pretty goofy. Anyways, thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me. Do you look at your guests when you talk, or do you look into camera?
I do both.
Okay.
I can stare into your eyes if you want me to the whole time.
Yeah, I'd prefer that.
Okay. Anyways, we have a tradition on this podcast where the guest of the previous episode leaves you a question not knowing who you are.
Oh, who was it?
It was Marina.
It was Marina?
And she left the question not knowing who you were going to be.
It'd be a good question from Marina.
You ready?
Yeah.
What is a weakness that you are disguising as a virtue that is hindering your process?
Can I take a second to absorb that?
Yeah. Take as much time as you need.
So essentially she's asking something within us. Is this what I present to others? Like I hide the weakness and I affront it to others, or within I lie to myself? Is it intrinsic or is it external?
So like Marina's example is her weakness is she doesn't want to do extra work because she's scared of judgment from others, like that she's being a tryhard.
She said that before.
So she hides it and she says, I'm being humble. But she needs to become a villain and just do what she needs to do to get the job done.
That's such
it's actually a really, I was thinking about it
question.
For
this
myself.
is like
it's deep.
Like you should be asked this before you enter college. Like you should have, this should be like a prerequisite.
An SAT question.
With like job interviews, everything. Okay. I want to give a really thoughtful answer.
Take your time.
Similar to Marina, but slightly different. So I guess she was saying she feels judged by others if she does extra work, right? And that's like try hard.
Yeah, she doesn't want to seem like a teacher's pet almost.
I guess mine's slightly different, but mine would be not doing enough. Mine's probably the opposite, where you front like you are ready, but my insecurity is that I've not done enough, or I've not taken the action as seriously. So that could look like coming to a meet and maybe fronting the confidence externally, projecting a confidence that is manufactured because I might have been distracted with work that week, just really busy and not maybe taking my recovery or my stretching as seriously. But I'm lying to the public and to myself saying, no, it's good. We're good. We're ready.
But I feel like that's a good thing.
But it's a weakness because you should
do the work.
As a professional athlete, you should be doing the work. But sometimes life gets ahead of you.
But you do the work.
I do, 90% of the time. But there's like, this weekend, 100% didn't do the work. The past like 3 weeks for me have been really up in the air, really distracted. For context, audience, I changed jobs. And I think you don't realize what comes along with that. You kind of just keep one foot in front of the other. But for me, I care a lot about what I do. So I carry a lot of subconscious stress and I put a lot of pressure on myself. And so an example of that this past 2-3 weeks, probably, I definitely haven't been doing enough recovery in the evenings, rolling out, finding trigger points, things like that.
Because you're stressed about work and your head is there?
Just because I'm working so much or preoccupied, and next thing you know, it's 9:30 and I can stretch for 20 minutes, or I can get to bed and sleep and get recovery that way. So you got to kind of make that decision. But I could answer that question a couple different ways. I think we all have a lot of weaknesses that we disguise.
Hide for sure. Anything else? Or you think that's the main one?
Let me give you another one, I guess.
I feel like that's a strength though.
No, it's not a strength
Like,
as a professional athlete. It's a strength as a bystander getting through life. But as a professional athlete, your responsibility is to prepare like you're the greatest in the world.
Right. That part I understand. But I'm talking about your ability to fabricate confidence. A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah, I can trick myself. I can trick myself with a lot of things.
Like 9 times 9.
Damn, 91. One more weakness. Let me think for you. Imposter syndrome, for sure. Big.
In design
everything.
Or swimming?
Swimming, design. I think especially being an Olympian post-Olympics, if you didn't walk away with the gold or at least a silver, maybe a bronze, it's like, fuck, you just don't really feel like a full Olympian. At least I don't. And you kind of feel like a fraud. Like, I have the rings tattooed on my chest, and there's moments where I don't like looking at it.
Really?
Or if it's in a photo, like sometimes I like want to take it off.
Crop it off.
Yeah.
Is that why you haven't done your yellow yet? Because you want it to fade away?
Thanks for bringing that up.
Calvin's yellow circle on his rings are fading.
Or it's just because my skin color is really nice.
It's changing.
I'm going to outline them after 28. That, like, close them off. Yeah. Symbolic. But yeah, I feel like a fraud a lot of the time, I think.
Do you have any strategies
it's not a confidence thing. It's more of like a coping mechanism is just reminding myself that no one knows what they're doing. Everyone starts beginner. Everyone's trying to figure things out. I think something that you're really good at is, we obviously started this journey pretty much together, the second phase of my career. You're kind of, I know you coached before, but I consider this like a different, a different level. So it's kind of your beginning too, right? And I feel like there's moments where either of us could have felt like we're a bit out of our depth, but you just kind of push it aside, right? You just
leaned into it.
Yeah, you got to kind of lean into it. And maybe there's a newness in being a beginner, and you can find different ways to do things. So that's the way I flipped it in my mind. Since I was probably like 17, 18 years old, I started thinking, whenever those feelings came up, there's a power in approaching something with a fresh perspective, because you've not been, and this, sorry, my mind, by the way, goes all over the place. You're going to hear this jumping forward and backwards. But when I was in art class in high school, and I had these aspirations of wanting to become a creative person in whatever category, and I knew I wasn't going to go to college because I knew I was going to prioritize swimming, I kind of had to make that mental switch of like, oh no, I'm going to turn this into a positive, not going to college. I'm going to make that work for me by saying or presenting that I'm bringing a new perspective and I'm approaching this with new eyes. And maybe there's a new discovery in doing that and using that way. So that's kind of also how I've been approaching the second phase of my career with swimming. And it is completely different. It is completely new.
And the good thing about that is, like, you come in with no judgment. You come in with no
judgment upon myself,
upon the training method, yourself. Like, you're not like, oh, this is not enough volume.
That's just how I've always been as a swimmer. I'm very coachable.
Yeah, you are.
I'm very coachable.
You're very coachable.
If I believe in the coach, if you tell me to swim for 12 hours, I'll swim for 12 hours. If you tell me to jump off a cliff, I'll jump off a cliff.
All right, Sid, you know what we're doing.
I did 200 100s. It's on YouTube. You think that helped me as a 50 freestyle?
I watched that video too, by the way.
When you were 16.
I think you have a very interesting life. You've lived in very interesting 29 years on this planet. I want to go over all those years. Well, maybe not all of them, but I want to start
month by month.
December 1995.
Yeah, that's when it started. Yeah,
December 14th. 14?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm
no,
good.
You're a good coach. You pay attention.
Walk me through your childhood.
Childhood. Wow. Okay. Well, not many people know I was adopted, so it started that way. Started just completely not knowing anything. Like, what's up, people? But those people became my family. Genuinely, when I talk about my childhood, I consider myself blessed beyond comparison. I really do believe I had one of the greatest childhoods one could have. Surrounded by love my entire life. I have 2 sisters that the second I was brought home literally would like fight over playing with me. Like just literally gave me so much attention, so much love. Same with my mom, same with my dad. The first 5 years of my life, we lived in Johannesburg, and my dad was kind of transitioning into a new job, I believe. And like at that point, when they first brought me home, we would be considered like a poor family, lived in a poor area. Got broken into a lot, really bad part of Johannesburg in South Africa. But from 5 years old, we moved to Durban, which is like a beach town. That's where I grew up. And that's like a more affluent area. My dad had a different job. My mom also had a different job at that point. So my childhood from that point onwards was like a lot sunnier, being on the beach, being in the pool.
When did you start swimming?
Started swimming at 9 years old because the primary school that I went to, which you guys call middle school.
Well, yeah.
Before high school.
Middle school, yeah.
Yeah. Like kindergarten to grade 7.
Well, we have elementary and then middle school and then high school.
Okay, that's combined for us. We have
primary.
TK or K something. It's like before grade 1 till grade 7. Sue Kidgel, the swimming coach of that primary school, told me I couldn't join the team because I wasn't good enough. So I went to extra lessons with a coach called Jean Nokia at North Durban Swim Academy. And I think within my first year, they became one of the best in my age group. Went back to Sue. Said, Sue, what the fuck? What's up, girl? I'm back. And then trained with her for a couple months and just like got really good. And she said, okay, you got to just go back to this coaching. Like stay with the coaching. That's better. And with that coach, I think by 12 years old, I was the fastest in South Africa, like going for national records for my age group. Predominantly backstroke. So I'd say 9 is when I started, but 12 is when I was like really, really competitive.
And then after 12, what happened? 12 to 16?
12 to 16 was rough because I was a pretty slow developer. I remember being the best at 12, like doing these time trials for national records by myself. Like before meet would start, I would get in and do 100 back and get the record. I'd leave meets with like 6 to 8 medals, gold medals. I'd win the trophy every meet. And then it was like 13, 14, immediately I was the worst. Like immediately, could not make a final.
Because you're older and you're competing with older boys?
I just was slower to develop, and everyone had started going through puberty, and boys from like 14 can start looking like men. Some guys.
And you still look like a little boy.
Yeah, and I've always been skinny. I've always been like a little muscular deficit. I've always had a little muscular deficiency. I feel like. But no, honestly, it was a bit of a hard time because also at 14, I lost my mom. So at that point, it was me and my dad, and that was like just a whole different world because my mom worked at home when I was younger, so I spent all my time with her. She was the one taking me to morning training, taking me to afternoon training after school, spending time with me after school. My dad was only getting home at like 6 p.m. So I consider my relationship 14 and prior, that relationship with my dad to be pretty, not absent, but like I didn't know him, you know? I was a young kid, I was just swimming, and then he'd get home at 6, we'd like have dinner, watch TV, go to bed. So I was like definitely a mama's boy. My mom was a swimmer. Unfortunately, during her time was the apartheid, which was our segregation in South Africa. So we were removed from the Olympics participation. So she was on the national swimming team, but she wasn't allowed to go to the Olympics. And
but she was good enough to go to the Olympics.
That's up for debate because we don't know what those QT times were.
But she was really good.
But she was on the national team.
So good enough to be there.
Good enough to be on the national team, but you know, you can have like a national squad and some of those squad members aren't Olympians. So we don't know, but she was good, yeah. And someone else that was on her team was Graham Hill. And that's who my coach was. Right. That's who became my coach in South Africa. So there was like a really funny little through line there.
That's so interesting because you know how like they talk about nature and nurture?
Yeah.
And like your mom's not your biological mom.
No.
So it's not like you got her swimming genes.
No.
But somehow her attitude or the way she raised you or the way she, the way she made you think about swimming permeated into your life.
That was a nice word.
Permeated?
Yeah, that was a perfect description. But the funny part about that too is my mom wasn't even like pushing swimming on me at all. Mm-hmm. I don't think I even knew that she was a swimmer until I found we had this like big wooden chest in our old house, and I might have been like 12, and I was digging through this chest. Sean breaks his, I had to break mine. I'm a copier. Oh yeah, I fixed it. Damn. Add that to the list. That's all right. They're in for the ride. We're good.
We're good.
I was digging through this chest at like 12 years old, and I found all these like drawings of like swimmers. And I was like, the fuck is this? And like a book about a swimmer, like a handwritten book and like notes. And I was just kind of like looking through it, and then my mom came up the stairs, and she was like smiling, and I was like, what is all this? And it turns out that it was hers. It was like her drawing these swimmers, her telling this story about a swimmer, like a fictional story she had written out. And that's when I like literally learned that she was the swimmer. So it's I landed up in swimming, but no one kind of pushed me there, like family wise. My dad wasn't pushing me to training. My mom wasn't. I literally asked to go to this coach because the school coach wouldn't let me on the team because I wasn't good enough. So yeah, no nurture. Nature once I was in the pool, but the nature wasn't like pushed towards the pool, if that makes sense.
The nature wasn't pushed towards.
I wasn't
nature.
nurtured.
The nurture.
Which one? Oh, nurtured. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't nurtured towards the pool.
Yeah.
That just happened.
Your mom wasn't like,
no,
hey, you need to do this. You need to.
No,
be
literally,
an
like I
Olympian.
say, I didn't know she even swam until I'd already been swimming for 3 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
She didn't tell you.
No.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I
She didn't
think
want
about that a
pressure?
lot because obviously, like, I haven't had a conversation with her since I was 14. So I like really, I hope it wasn't me not being communicative enough as like a son. I hope I wasn't like not asking questions. I'm a pretty curious person, and I had great conversations with my dad later in life. And so I hope I was asking those kind of questions, but I imagine it was her withholding it. Or not withholding it, or just being humble about it.
Because you would think like if you had kids, you would let them know.
Well, they will know.
Daddy's an Olympian.
You see that gold medal, son?
Right?
She was, I don't know. It's like weird to think about because it's just such a long time ago, and like it's even hard to like kind of remember her personality at this point because I was so young. But she wasn't a pushing parent. She was very, like if I didn't want to do something, I was like, Calvyn's not doing it. You know, if I didn't want to go to training, she's like, okay.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that played into your success.
I definitely, from a young age, it was my responsibility if I wanted to be the swimmer. Like my dad always made it clear, because obviously from 14 on, he became the parent that had to drive me to training and wake up at 4 a.m. with me, which is mind-blowing. Like you only gain that perspective when you're older, what your parents do for you.
Right.
But I had to be vocal about what I did and did not want to do. And he would support either decision 100%. So for example, it got to a point where he was waking me up when I was like 15 for morning training at 4:15 a.m. And he
would wake you up?
He would wake me up.
You can wake yourself up?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. He would like come in, he would just like knock, like rap on my door and I'd just get up because I'm a pretty light sleeper. But it got to a point where I was like, okay, Dad, I need to start learning this virtue of being in control of my time, waking myself up.
How to set an alarm clock?
But it was less about that. I think it was more just like he was up and he was just like, okay, it's time to go. Because he's managing the time of like how long it takes to get to training, how long I need to get ready or whatever. That wasn't like something as a young person I was cognizant of.
Right.
Just yet. And I told him, I was honest with him and I said, Dad, I'm starting to resent you.
Really?
Like,
you told him that?
Yeah. So you're waking me up subconsciously at 4 a.m. I'm like opening my eyes and it's you waking me up. I'm like taking that I'm like internalizing that towards you. So I need to wake myself up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Even though you knew like he was helping you, you like internalized that.
No, but it was just it was a good thing to say, because it was like I was recognizing my internal dialogue was like grumpy towards him, and I was catching myself going, no, this guy's fucking waking up at 4 to take your little ass to a pool, and it's cold.
You're very self-aware.
I just like to think about what other people are thinking of too.
That's another thing. You're also very socially intelligent. You might not be intelligent, but you're very socially intelligent.
I might think I'm pretty fucking clever.
You know, IQ, EQ.
Yeah.
Your EQ
10 out of 10 on both.
Questionable.
Math ain't
Your
intelligence.
EQ though. Calvin didn't know 9 times 9.
It's 81.
Yeah, because we told him.
I would have got there. That's the thing, right? It's
But-
like you're like those teachers in high school that are like, oh, you're going to do fractions and calculus after. There's a calculator on my phone.
For a reason.
So that's why I refuse to do math.
Yeah.
I refuse.
The other day we were doing broad jumps and I look over Calvin's shoulder and he's chat GPTing like, what is 9'6" in inches on
But that's fair too. I was raised in a completely different.
to calculate how many inches 9'6" is.
Do you know meters off by heart? Well, you do now, but it's different. We could grow up in a different time, different place.
I'm going to fix this really fast. This thing's falling off. This thing is not good.
This is not a sponsored ad. Gatorade, if you want more airtime.
This is the last time.
It's the first and last sip you'll see. And we ain't talking little. We're talking big.
Awesome. Okay.
Racks.
We're back. I want to talk about your YouTube career. When did that start?
Okay. When did it officially start, or when did I start experimenting with YouTube?
What was the inception of the idea or the first video? What was the motivation?
The motivation was that I had come across the term YouTubers, which was initially these British kids, one South African, Casperly, but it was like Jack Scap, Alfie Days, Sowella, all these British YouTubers, and they were just making videos in the bedroom, sometimes going out doing things, but they were very like silly, low effort, low editing videos. But it just intrigued me because I was like, oh, this is like, you know, like every kid kind of makes home videos, or like will pick up their home camera and like go, if you have siblings, like you'll film your sibling and you'll like mess around. Like everyone does that. Yeah, everyone does that. So it was that, but I was like, oh, and they're like low-key millionaires at like 16.
What year was this? 2000?
I couldn't even tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. Maybe between 2010 and 2013, somewhere in there.
That's when your first YouTube video dropped.
Maybe 2010, maybe 2011. No, but this was when I discovered the term YouTube or YouTubing. Then I came across, I forget what it was called or how they did it, but it was the Arizona swimmers were like making swimming videos. Luke Peckman, some other guys. But it was like in the time of the Gatorade Challenge.
With Brett Hawk?
I don't know. Brett was in the Gatorade Challenge, but I don't know if... there was some Arizona college swimmers that were like making videos, but they weren't like serious. They were like pretty silly, funny.
Arizona, like U of A?
Yeah.
Like all the South Africans?
They weren't the South Africans though. But yes, U of A.
Okay.
And so then I guess at that point I was like, oh, okay, you could do this for swimming too. But I didn't start off doing it with swimming. I started off doing it like the other British way, like just about my lifestyle, just little challenges, like really cringy shit. You can't find any of it. It's all gone. Nice try. It's unlisted.
I was gonna filter by oldest and go look it up.
No, I did leave a couple of cringy ones on just because, you know, you got to.
Can you like list it?
No,
just for like 12 hours for the viewers.
I can't.
November
If this
20th.
gets over 100 comments, I'll do it.
Do it.
There's some terrible ones. It was like swimming in the bath and
Swimming in the bath?
yeah,
In the
like
bath.
the bathtub.
There's not much room in there.
No, dude, it was like really cringy stuff. But looking back now with the perspective of being older and like, I guess an adult now, I never really call myself an adult, but like technically I am age-wise.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan effect, Benjamin Button syndrome. But yeah, no, when I started the cringy ones, like I didn't think about them being cringy and I didn't even care what people thought. I remember like the first one that like did really well, which was only like 2K views, but like back then was like, wow.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
I was like, whoa, dude, I'm fucking set. No. But I went to high school the next day and I went to a only boys high school. That's most schools in South Africa are gendered. And it was a swimming school. So I was like a pretty confident student being there because I had a place there, you know, I was like asked to be there. So I naturally had a confidence.
Why were you asked to be there?
Well, as a swimmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You came
I was
on
a scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah. They would like recruit from like year 4
Mm-hmm.
for high school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the best swimming school in the whole nation. And I remember making the YouTube video, it popped and whatever, and I went to school the next day and some of the guys were like talking about it. And prior to that, I didn't care. I was just throwing things up. But then that like realization of, oh, what I'm putting on the internet has a real correlation to real life and like people that I know. That kind of made me feel weird.
Really?
Yeah.
And self-conscious.
Self-conscious and
And you're like,
it
they
made
know
me
about me.
it added a second perspective that when I started filming, I would like almost see it through their eyes too.
Mm.
Which is kind of a good skill at some point to learn because you become more self-aware and you understand what you're doing as an audience member
Mm-hmm.
and how what you're saying and portraying is being perceived. But at the same time, I think it's good to hang on to that childishness as long as you can, you know?
What do you mean by that? Just like
Just
experimenting with things?
yeah, just when you're a kid and you have an idea, there's no roadmap.
You just do.
You just do.
Yeah.
You wake up, you have kids, you know, like
There's no thinking.
there's zero thinking. You like 2 hours after Ryland's waking up, he's probably like climbing an anthill outside, right? You're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
But we joke about this all the time, but Calvin is just like Ryland. And it's not even Ryland is just like Calvin. It's Calvin is just like Ryland.
Oh, you could have. Your son's going to be a world champion. That's
I
all I'm
hope so.
saying. But it's like that childlike excitement and wonder is special. And that's something I always try and think about. I'm like forever trying to get back to that.
Is that kind of what sparked the initial YouTube career?
I think it was just the idea that I could be in control and have freedom and make things.
Mhm.
And like, again, seeing successful people do it. So there was like, it wasn't like this was just a side fun thing to do.
Mhm.
I saw the business potential in it. And the one guy,
At a young age. Because when
Yeah,
you started it, you were 16, 15?
yeah, 15.
When you started YouTubing.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like I said, these guys were like, you could see the success they had. You could see that they had products in whatever the UK stores were. You could see that they had books and you could see that they had like endorsements and sponsorships. And I was already cognizant of that because I had older teammates in swimming that I could see struggling.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't coaching after swimming, they were kind of done.
So you kind of saw it as a way to make swimming your career.
Yeah, because I also already from like 14 knew I didn't want to follow academia. I didn't want to. I had a stint when I wanted to be like a graphic designer and go to college for graphic design, and I applied to a college, and low-key is a bit of a flex. They said that I had the highest marks in the application out of everyone that year. Got a 99% for art in high school.
It's because math wasn't on there.
It is. I failed math. But they don't look at the math score for graphic design, so it's all
No,
good.
you don't need it.
But yeah, anyway, I'd like quickly realized that wasn't going to fit my swimming schedule, so I kind of moved on from that. But yeah, I always knew I wasn't going to follow college. I wasn't going to do any of these things. So when I started seeing that business potential in YouTube and I started seeing the success of these people and I was starting to look up to them, I knew that anyone could do it.
Is that when you started to go hard on YouTube?
started to go hard. I mean, hard is relative at that age. I didn't have my own camera. I didn't have an editor. I didn't have anything. So
What
I
did you film on if you didn't have a camera?
filmed on my friend's sister's camera, and she was in the videos with me in the beginning because I kind of had to use her, and vice versa. She was curious and exploring the YouTube world too. So, and that helped too. That helped my confidence not being alone in the beginning. But then very quickly that like progressed to me having my first camera, which was given to me by Arena, the swimming brand. I emailed them and I said, if you give me a camera, I'll film a documentary, or I'll film like an advert for you. And then they sent me a camera. Or
Were you big at this point?
Maybe I had a bit more of a following than the average swimmer my age, just because no one was like paying it. Also, like social media back then was like a gold mine. Like no one was paying attention.
Right.
And that used to confuse me so much because once it had started growing, I understood it was never going to stop. And you can see it in real life. You can see these people growing, and I was like, oh, obviously this is only going to keep exploding. And I wish I could even go back to myself then and tell myself to go harder, because there were even moments when I'd plateau and I'd get over it. But yeah, I definitely understood the value of social media early on.
Did you have a strategy for YouTube, or it was just post as much as you can?
I experimented with some formats and different strategies, but I did honestly, as a whole, my YouTube career I consider pretty like a failure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It just never really got, I mean, it was, right? It never became a career.
Right, but it's not dead.
It's not dead.
You still
and
post?
My intention with it is very different now.
Right.
I'm not trying to make it a career now.
Right.
I'm using it as a platform to document. But that kid, the goals that young boy had, young Calvyn had, did not meet those goals.
I see what you're saying. But whenever we go to a meet, we have every other person come up to us and say, hey, I used to watch your YouTube videos when I was 6 years old.
And that is cool, but
I've had so many people come up to me and tell me that they used to watch your YouTube videos.
And that it's a nice feeling hearing that, because you want to be supported. But also the honest truth is, back then there was just really no one making content. I was probably even when I filmed the Olympics in 2016, like that's not that long ago, but no one was vlogging the Olympics. No one was filming the Olympics. So a lot of it was just me being one of the only options. And especially in the swimming world, it's a small sport. It's a small world. If you know a couple swimmers, you know most of them. So it's like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not indicative of how well I was doing. You know what I mean? Like all those kids that come up to you and say they've seen me, that's not because I was like killing it.
I think this is you being humble.
No, I understand what levels people got to, and it's the same with swimming, right? Like if you're not an Olympic champion, you're not that great. So it's just levels of understanding.
I still feel like there's potential left to pursue for you in your YouTube career.
And hopefully it's shifted enough now that it fits me more than it ever has as a platform, and it fits my goals and intentions more. And we're in a documentive cycle as an audience. That's the content that we're consuming, value and educational things or perspective. Podcasts are exploding because they're all three of those. And that's kind of what my YouTube is now, is like little snippets and moments.
Wait, say that again. What do you think right now in the current social media landscape? Like what are the...
It's value. So if you're someone that's tutorials or you're...
knowledge.
Yeah. You would follow coaches. You would follow, all these kinds of people. Outdoor Boys is kind of a value add in that aspect, because you know that's a YouTuber that me and Sean both like.
Is entertainment considered value? Because I watch Outdoor Boys for entertainment.
I think you watch for entertainment, but you are learning subconsciously, and you like learning, and you're just not connecting those dots.
How to make bread.
Or not even though, but just the way he moves in the outdoors. Like you're receiving that information.
Got it.
On a subconscious level, and that is motivating you to come back to him.
That's where I get my dopamine.
If it was an entertainment purely value, he would just be sitting on a couch talking, and you would still watch him, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't watch him if he wasn't doing these things.
No. If he was just talking, I wouldn't watch
So you don't find him entertaining. I'm not asking, I'm saying.
Wait, what?
I'm telling you that you don't find him Why? Because
then why do I watch it?
Because you're learning subconsciously.
how to chop a walrus head off. Did you watch that episode?
I didn't watch that one, but I watched
Did you watch it?
Bear Grylls do something similar. But no, but I guess that, well, if we describe the term entertainment, like what that means to you and what that means to me is maybe different. But why I think you're interested in him is because he has a wealth of knowledge that you don't have in outdoor living, and you're intrigued by how he moves. And I'm also speaking for myself. This is what draws me to him. There's a level of learning, but it's not like classroom learning, subconscious learning. And the brain likes that. Okay. I think. This is my opinion.
I think I know what you're saying. I'm trying to live a life that I currently do not live vicariously through him, and that is a form of learning, is what you're saying. That's
one side of it. It can fit whatever form you want it to fit. I mean, that's also escapism, and it's a form of escape because it's not your life and it's just something completely different. So it's a bit of both.
That's value. Escapism.
Yeah, my point was just that you're not drawn to him as an entertainer. He's not a comedian. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so value.
And I would say value is number one, honestly. And then secondly, it's just I don't want to use the word relatability. It's a substituted word that I'm actually looking for, but it's that feeling of, and this is why podcasts do so well, of being with people, a sense of community, and with that community, you're also learning again. So it's like, whether we're just talking about YouTube right now, and as someone watching this is like waiting for us to say some little nugget of,
this is how you do a perfect high elbow catch.
Yeah, right. But what this person watching is also understanding now is a new way to think about YouTube.
Right.
And that's learning, whether it's happening like cognitively and they're aware of it or not. That's how I believe content is valued right now.
It's how relatable can you be to your audience.
Yeah. And then maybe a third caveat to that is like a inspiration, motivation one. Something to just get you up and like, wow, that's beautiful. Or, I want to do that.
I want to do that. So I'm going to watch this before I go to practice.
Or you just watch that person regularly because that's the style of content they create.
Earlier you said documentative.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Documentative, that's a term I guess I've coined from Gary Vee, who used to say, don't create documents.
Yeah.
So it's like, a lot of the time, if I'm interested in you, Sean, as a coach, I don't need you to make these beautiful videos and edit in a really cool way. I just need you to be you, because that's the value I'm getting. Your documentation of the team you're building or the gym you're building is beneficial to me because I have aspirations of owning my own gym or coaching my own team. So I guess the through line and the root of everything is value and gaining something.
So for example, like there's a service sink out there right now, right? It's not built yet. So if I were like, hey, to put on my story or whatever, hey, today I'm building a service sink.
Yeah.
You think that would be interesting to people?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I really do, yeah. Because
this is the leg of the sink.
This is how I think about it, right? Is like, time is crazy nowadays.
How
like,
so?
Just gaining someone's attention for any period of time.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds of someone's time is like pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know?
It's expensive too.
The way I think about it is, if someone's watching you, it's completely intentional. 80% of the time. They're reoccurring people. They're invested in you.
They've
chosen you as a person of reference. So the audience that would sit and watch you build a sink is invested in you and your story and your journey. And so the sink isn't the context, like the whole of the content. It's an example of how you approach challenges.
That's a great way to put it.
Or it could literally be that back to the inspiring side, I have aspirations of owning my own gym, and this is something you have to deal with and think about, and like the fucking whatever it is going on outside there that you've been dealing with. I would have never known that's a thing.
So I've been, ever since April,
you've been documenting it.
I've been filming every little setback. Like I think I started filming in April.
And you said because you wanted to show your kids.
Yeah.
Why? To show them how to overcome
hardship. So do you think if we made that, and it's just me talking most of the time. If we made it into a documentary,
well, a documentary, no,
not a documentary, but a vlog. You think that's interesting?
Yeah, I do.
Like, hey, today.
But see, maybe not to me, but I think the thing that everyone got so excited about social media in the beginning. I need 1 million views. I need 10 million views. No, it's not correct.
You need 100 quality.
Thank you. You need 100. It's quality over quantity. You need 100 people that are invested in you, watching you build that sink. Because now when you open this gym, those 100 people are coming to this gym.
Because they know the story behind it.
They believe in you.
Right.
They understand your journey. They've watched your journey and they've been a part of your journey. They feel
invested. More
so than that, they feel like they're partly responsible in a way, or like they're a part of your how you've got here.
I see. And how much of that did you use to tell your story? Like, I feel like you're very cognizant of all that.
I try
as you're building your YouTube career.
I try to be.
Like, when the peak of your YouTube career was probably what, 2016?
Around Olympics, yeah, before and after Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there I was documenting our team. I was introducing my audience to everyone on our team, especially when we were training in Florida. We did our training camps in Florida before Rio. And my views then were like crazy. Everyone was insanely invested because what do you do before Olympics? You know, what does that look like? No one has seen this before. You can see an athlete at the Olympics, but you could never see what preparation was being done prior to the Olympic Games. So I was kind of filling that gap a little bit, not even realizing it. I was just making what I was doing. I was just documenting. So I think it just, at that point, I resented YouTube.
When you got to Rio?
Like that era.
Why?
Because it was taking so much of me. And we started this podcast, I said, I really, if I'm doing something, I really care about it. And I'll put my whole heart into it. So
it was taking you away from like actually just swimming.
Yes, and there were moments where that was what I needed, because I've never been a good swimmer when I'm in my head, like swimming. Like swimming.
You need an outlet.
Yeah, I need to always have like a creative thing on the side of swimming. If that's when I'm my most well balanced. But more so at that point, again, I knew what good YouTube was, editing wise, lighting wise, camera quality wise, story structure wise. I understood what that was. So I also understood when I wasn't hitting that. And it's very hard to hit all those moments when you're on a training camp in Florida, and rooming with 3 people and like an hour a day. And I'm trying to color grade, and I'm trying to think about lighting, and I've got one lens, and I've got half a camera, you know. So it was frustrating me a lot because I knew I was subpar quality wise. And again, I've just gone back and said how quality doesn't matter and all this doesn't matter. But at that point, I didn't understand or have that perspective of document, not create. And I thought that everyone was valuing me only by how well the video was created.
So how nice is it now to have Sid?
It's amazing. I love Sid.
Right.
But yeah, I think Sid, then I would have felt the same, even if I had a Sid, because you have to understand that yourself, but also YouTube had to mature and content had to mature to that point where the audience understood what they wanted.
Okay. Because back then you had to have great
It was
color.
the Wild West.
Yeah.
Everyone was just out there making stuff, and a fucking cat jumping off a roof would get 10 million views, but then a guy opening a Coke bottle with Mentos would get 10 million views. So there was no like quality control or like level of expectation of what things should look like or what good work looks like. And Netflix wasn't around. We weren't seeing great documentaries.
Do you think it matters more now?
What?
Like quality, lighting, color correction.
I think there's a base expectation that you still have to meet, but no.
It doesn't matter as much as back then.
No.
What matters more is that you're documenting authenticity.
Completely authentic. If I could have gone back to 15-year-old Calvyn and said, dude, drop everything. Sit in front of the camera, don't do a single cut. Stumble, because I used to stutter a lot, and that really used to stress me out. Like I do takes like 6 times in front of all my teammates too. So that was like really freaking me out. I was the youngest on the team.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, hey guys, so today we're sorry guys. Let me just set it up over here. what's up, guys? And I would just be like so fucking in my head, dude, because I
know.
Purely because I wanted to make something that like was Netflix quality. Like that was my intention. I'd like seen stuff when I was younger, documentaries on, there's like this one off-road cycling documentary I watched in art class when I was young, and I'll never forget it. Like it was mind-blowing. Like it blew my mind. It was like the first time I'd ever seen like ultra slow-mo 4K. I was just like, it probably wasn't even 4K back then, but
it was 1080p.
But I was just like, oh, that's what good video is. So
if you can go back to your younger self and give YouTube advice, what would you say?
I would say, dude, sit down, press record,
just go,
leave it all in, and just talk.
Says the guy who was like, hey, are we going to do cuts to this podcast?
No, well, just because I can go off track and say some really crazy things. But I prefer raw podcast.
Yeah,
I would prefer raw
podcast. Me messing with this stand thing will probably be in.
Yeah,
we're just gonna leave it in there,
and that's where we've matured to as an audience and as our understanding and perspective of what humanity and authenticity is. Because at the end of the day, the whole reason that we're all watching each other and engaging with each other online when we're not in person is because of that humanity and community and connection.
Yeah. You know what I just noticed as we're talking about this? When I listen to Joe Rogan sometimes, Joe will like light a cigar or like pour coffee or whatever.
It brings you into the moment.
But then if I'm audio only, I'll be like, what is that? And then I'll go to the video because I want to see like, what is he drinking? What is he smoking?
Oh, see, I'll make that acknowledgement of like, oh, because you always hear me.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
Or you hear the lighter click.
Or
whatever.
Or put a coffee mug down. Hey, can I get some more coffee? And
right. And
those moments I would have cut out as 17-year-old Calvyn or 15-year-old
Right, but I actually
Calvyn.
think it's kind of interesting. I want to see.
You want to see it because it's like you've heard that sound and you're like, oh, what is that?
Right.
But me, I can acknowledge that sound. I can still drive and not need to see it, but I'm more appreciative of them leaving it in because now I'm in the room with them. Still more so.
Right.
And it's more real and raw, and I understand that this isn't a production.
Right.
I think that's what everyone's trying to get away from is overly produced, perfect content. No one's perfect. Nothing's perfect.
I've listened to podcasts where they cut out every single and they cut out every single,
I used to do that.
I think like Swim does that, and it sounds too
robotic.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like. I actually think like if I ask you a question and you're like, let me think about that for a second. And then there's a long pause like that. Then you say like, oh, there's some weight to what Calvin's about to say.
And he's put thought into it.
Opposed to if you just cut that silence out, then it's like, and then you just say it, But
even now, like I'm being very careful how I'm breathing because when I used to podcast, you do that, that breath before you speak. And that used to freak me out.
Why?
Because I just didn't like that. It was like, so like, I don't know. And everyone in the audience right now is like, what the fuck is going on? But it's like, it messed up the perfection of the sentence. And so that used to bother me. But it's human.
Right.
And we fucking breathe bro. It's good to breathe.
Yeah.
So, but I guess that's just getting older. You kind of get over all these little things. You learn and also, dude, no one gives a fuck.
No one does.
No one cares about you.
No one.
No one cares about what you're going through. Truthfully, they don't. They just don't. So,
they act like they care, but no one actually cares.
And this is not talking about your friends and family, but just do your shit. If you
Even
have an
your
idea,
friends and family don't care.
No, they do. Of course they do. Sid gives a fuck about you, bro.
To a degree, but everyone is living their own life in their own body.
Yes, but friends, close friends and family is. You need better friends, brother.
Maybe.
My friends care a lot about me, and I feel that. But the audience member watching me swim, they don't care. They're looking for something very specific out of that, and they're getting it by watching it. So that's all you need to do as a creative and as a content or whatever person. Just put it out. Someone will gain something from that. I promise you.
Yeah.
Someone will gain so much from you putting that sync together that you can't even understand.
All right. After this podcast, I'm putting this up on my reel or something.
Yeah.
I'm doing
again, even just this is how simple it could be. I'm scrolling my stories. I see you. Fuck. Sean's doing this shit. I got my own fucking sync. It's not a sink fit. It's a
I know what
chair
you're
I
saying.
need to buy.
Yeah.
Let me go fucking do mine.
Mm.
You know? It's that simple.
You know what? I was on a podcast last week, and I put up a post that was all writing. It was just letters. It was words. It was all reminders to self that I put up
Okay.
from 6 years of running a business.
Okay.
And he was like, it popped up on my feed first thing in the morning. Like right when I woke up, I started reading it, and I was like, I got to get up and get after it.
Yeah.
And when I initially posted it, I was like, it's like a bunch of words on a screen. Like it's not going to hit anyone's algorithm. It's going to do terrible. But then,
And it probably did terrible.
it didn't do great.
But you inspired someone. One person.
Which I didn't, when I posted, I didn't think it would do that, but it did. And that was a reminder, like if it hits one person, it's probably going to hit a couple more people. And so just do it.
I think we're all a lot more alike than we like to think we are. Like we like to all think we're very original, very special.
No.
And we're special, but
That's special snowflake-itis.
it's... Humans are fucking predictable, man.
Yeah, I think so.
And we all think in variations of the same way.
Mhm.
So that one person being inspired, yes, if you had to extrapolate that across the world to 10 million people, like there's going to be another 10,000 people that get inspired. So
Right.
yeah, that's little wins is good.
Yeah.
I consider little wins and big wins the same. They're wins.
Mhm. Talk to me about qualifying for Rio.
For Rio, I kind of faced the same thing, was relying on a relay to get on, which is never ideal.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of my shame, is that my Olympics has got an asterisk to it. But yeah, I came...
Depending on who you are. If I go as a relay swimmer, I'm wearing that proudly on my chest.
well,
as a
I
relay
fucking
swimmer.
put it on my chest, bud, so I guess we're the same person. But I like to think I did a bit more than just the relay, because I also won the 100 freestyle.
Yeah.
I became the national champion.
Why didn't you do the 100 free in Rio then? Did anyone do it?
Yes. Oh, the individual 100 free? No, because I didn't qualify individually.
Oh, you didn't get the qualifying time,
No,
like
no,
the A
no.
cut.
No.
But you won it.
I won the South African trials final 100 meter freestyle.
Right.
I was the only one that went 49,
Mm-hmm.
which was not a great time.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, it was weird. But it made my dad very, very proud that race.
Mhm.
I'll never forget how. That he got... there's a video of him, like when I like turned like 5th or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And I just fucking mowed them down. And you can just hear my dad losing his mind. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
And I touched and I thought I came like 5th, and I got out, and then the cameraman was like, Calvyn, no. And I was like, dude, go interview the fucking winner. What are you doing? Like I had no idea it was like me that did that. So I got a best time, but everyone else kind of didn't swim as well as they could have. Because there's a pressure at trials and at Olympics specifically. Those two things. Olympic trials and Olympics. Nothing feels like that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I would say trials is more
Yeah.
pressure than
Yeah.
actual
I agree.
Olympics.
Yeah. Nothing will ever feel like, even now, like going back to another Olympic trials will never feel like the first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The magnitude of that call room, man, such a... I don't even know how to describe the emotions there, but like the way everyone would look at each other, and we would all kind of, especially on a relay, like an event that has a relay, like 100 freestyle or 200 freestyle,
Mm-hmm.
there's 8 people and there's 4 spots, and the way everyone's looking, it's just different in an individual race because it's more defined
Yeah.
and everyone for themselves. But when there's 4 spots up for grabs, it's like, it could be me.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
you did the 100 and 200 freestyle at the trials.
Yes. And
And you won the 100, and what happened in the 200?
I won the 100 free, immediately had to do a time trial the next day for the 4x100 medley relay
Mm-hmm.
to qualify South Africa. So that was Cameron van der Berg, Christopher Reed, myself, and Chad Leclerc. I did the freestyle, and we qualified.
But you didn't swim that.
No. I had another teammate, Miles Brown, incredible swimmer, and I guess they just felt more confident putting him in. And I don't disagree with the decision. He swam great. Could I have swum great? Probably. But we'll see. Did I do a PB in the 200? Yes, I did. Was I the only one? Yes, I was. So we'll see. I don't know. I like to think I was pretty ready. But it's all good. So yeah, ultimately I did only swim the 200 in the 4x2 free relay, and I think I was against Lochte on my leg.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Go back to trials.
Okay.
Go back. You're jumping.
Sorry,
You're jumping.
that's what I do.
The 200 free at trials. What happened?
I came 4th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
148 probably. 149, 148 low. I mean 149 low, 148 high. I don't know.
I remember in the vlog, I think it's titled "I Qualify for the Olympics" or something like that. Is that
I
the
look
vlog?
like a child.
You look like a child.
That's so crazy.
In that vlog, you were saying like, I somehow qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah, because I wasn't
you weren't
ranked.
expecting.
I wasn't ranked 4th. I think I was ranked 8th.
So were you like super surprised that you're going to go to Rio?
No, because I knew what I wanted.
Right.
I knew my potential, and I knew who I had to take out, more importantly. So I was very strategic with that race. That race wasn't like, that was like a race racing against people.
Not the time.
No.
Yeah. You're just like
Which is,
looking, where is everyone?
To an audience member right now, it might sound like, oh, well, that doesn't mean much, but like it really, it's probably the only swim I've ever done with that intention.
To take people out.
Yeah.
And what was your strategy?
To sit on them, to follow them, to go out with them, because I knew I would die. I would push off death further than they would.
Push off death further than they would?
Yeah, they would die before I would.
You knew that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'd accepted. So essentially, I dived into that race immediately from my underwaters, was looking over to the 2 or 3 individuals that I was gunning for.
Mm-hmm.
And however they were willing to take it out, I was going to be with them.
So your strategy was to be with them?
Yes.
Or like at their hip?
No.
You're like, I'm going to be with you.
Yes.
And then?
Let's ride. Because coming off that last wall, I'm dying.
You're like, I don't care. I'm going
My time wasn't even that great, so it kind of sucks.
It sounds so cool.
It sounds so cool,
saying,
dude.
like,
and I didn't even fucking win. I came 4th. But that was my win, you know?
Yeah.
I had to get ahead of 3 people to make that team.
And it sent you to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so talk to me about Rio now. You're next to Lochte.
Well, there's probably a bit more I could say about the trials. So obviously I had done the medley before the 2 free. So I was technically already qualified because I'd got my freestyle spot on the medley relay.
So was it less pressure?
No, because that was never a conversation. So for context, my coach Graham Hill was the Olympic coach. Mm-hmm. So I had the benefit of having a lot of foresight into selection criteria, what was expected, etc. And we had never had, he was straight up with me. He was like, dude, 2 free relays, your only shot. You're not close to an individual qualifying. We had never spoken about the medley, whether South Africa was going to take a medley, anything like that. So even though we did that qualifying swim, I hadn't considered that was a sure thing. So that didn't change anything for me 2 free wise. I was like, okay, 2 free is still my guarantee onto this team.
You still had the same amount of pressure.
Yeah. And it's a lot. Like, it's really a very unique feeling. But we got that done. So again, after the medley, I didn't really celebrate. The celebrations were like after the 2 free because that was my ticket. And my dad watched us do the relay. Oh no, wait, how did we do? I don't think we did a relay for the 2 free. I think that was just top 4 for the individual 200. So anyway, he saw me get 4th. He got so stoked he just went home.
Wasn't even like congratulations.
He got too emotional. I don't know. My dad was extremely emotional. So I'm assuming he probably just started crying and like just left. But I got out the pool and I was looking for him.
Where are you, Dad?
I was like, Dad, what? I was like, went up to the stands where he would always sit because we'd always swim in South Africa. We had like a pool that was like our main pool. Yeah, and he was, and I was like, phoned him. I was like, Dad, I just qualified. He was like, I know, my boy, I know. I was like, oh God, okay. Went over to my coach. Like, I was like, dude, is this it? Like, are you taking
want to get
me?
too
I was
excited.
like, don't fuck with me right now. Like, am I going to go to Olympics? And he was like, you're going to go to Olympics.
Nice.
I was like, oh my God. Then he phoned my dad. They were crying.
Did you cry?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't think things hit me in the moment like that. Like maybe I probably cried like a month after or something. But like in the moment, I was just so like
stoked.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't really remember.
Talk to me about Rio.
Rio was epic. Rio was eye-opening in terms of that level. Again, like how I said, just that level of excellence and expectation. I think the stat is like only 1% of Olympians perform at their best at the actual games.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, you expect that everyone would level up at Olympics because of the magnitude of it, but most people shrink. I didn't shrink. I did do a best time, but we didn't even get through to the final. So it's not much to celebrate from Rio.
You went.
I went. I don't like that though. I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate
that's
that.
why we're.
That's
here
what
to do
everyone
more.
always says. You went, but you still went. But you still went.
Right. You hate that, huh?
I don't like that. No.
That's why we're on this current journey.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, fuck. I guess you're right. There's been a lot in my life. Yeah, now we're back. We're back here, dude.
We're back. Talk to me about post Rio, pre Tokyo, moving to LA, your back thing.
Okay,
Walk me through all
so
that.
at Olympics, if I'm completely honest, at that point already, my passions had probably shifted
To
content or being creative, just being creative, making things, filming things, editing things, just wanting to be in that process of bringing something to life. And so, yeah, Olympics was great. Did my best performance there. Made a really cool video, I like to think, at least. And
it's one of your best performing videos.
yeah, it was a good one. I think it was good. Obviously we do it completely differently now, but that's you can't think like that. But I definitely left the Olympics a different person. Like I definitely came home with like a level of understanding what greatness was, you know, like more so. Like it's like almost like this is a crazy comparison, but it's like going to war. And like you hear about war and it's like, oh yeah, that's crazy, but how crazy is it? And then you go to war and you're like, yo, it's fucking crazy. I'm not saying it's war. I don't want to disrespect veterans and things, but
I know what you're saying.
It was a level of experience and expectation that you could only get once you were there in the flesh. And once you walked out, and it's just, it's a magnitude that you can't describe. And you can feel it. So when I got home, it was like that post-Olympic depression thing's like super real too. I was like, oh, now no one cares about me anymore. It was like weeks of people admiring you, doing your laundry for you. At the village, you're treated like a god. Like you don't do anything besides swim and rest. So coming back home, and I was like back in traffic, like back training in this like broken down pool in South Africa, like, oh fuck,
green pool,
no medal. Like, so like, and at that same time, I've got my literal teammate next to me that's in my lane type thing, king of the world, you know, world record holders, gold medal. So I'm like seeing what it can be and what I'm not. And that like really, I struggled with that a lot. And I think that made me start to want to leave the sport, but I hadn't realized it yet. Then 2 years later, we had the Commonwealth Games in Australia and I did another best time. I did the relay there. I did some individual swims too. I did best times, but
you did the backstroke.
I did the backstroke for the medley relay there and we got a bronze medal. So that was like my now considered my best achievement in swimming.
And then 54 in the 100 back.
I don't even know what the time was, honestly. I think I touched third or so. It was a decent race.
Yeah.
Like I did pretty good. And I finished that race and I was like, fuck, I'm done. I don't give a fuck about this shit anymore. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to just make shit. Walk to the warm down pool. Chase Block, assistant coach to Dave Salo, USC, comes over to me. He was in Australia with his swimmer Dylan Carter of Trinidad and Tobago, a good friend of ours. And he was like, hey, that was a good race. That was cool. Whatever, small talk. And then he was like, oh, what's your plans? And I was like, no, that's it. That was you just watched it, dude. That was my plan. I said, all done. And he's like, nah, dude, you're like 18 or something. Or how old was I? No, I wasn't 18. I was 22. That was 4 years. I was 22. And he's like, dude, you're 22. I probably just looked 18. He's like, dude, you look young as fuck. But long story short, he was just like, yeah, don't do that. You've got more in you. And I was like, whether that's true or not, I'm not making a living from this. Everything I'm doing to support myself is purely from YouTube and my dad paying for like coaching and driving me and stuff. Or at that point I had a car, whatever. But yeah, I was just like, I can't even justify this anymore. Like, what am I? My friends all have like nice cars,
Careers.
apartments, careers. Like, I have nothing, dude.
Right.
If I don't make YouTube videos and model, like I get nothing. So I was like, yeah, I just really don't know how to justify this anymore. And he was like, okay, well, what's your plan though? And I was like, I think I want to just maybe go out to America, and like really give like being a creative a shot and like making things, and like whatever that is, I don't know, but it's like moving a lot faster over there than it is in South Africa. So let me at least just go over there and just see if I can do anything. And he was like, okay, well, we're out here. We're in LA. Just come and do both and like just see if you like it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll maybe. Thought about it for a while. Had already been in my whole like visa process to come over to the States. And I was like, you know, gee, I'm trying to go to LA. They're in LA. I'll just go for like a month, come back home. I'll just go see what it's like. So it was like 2018, I think, December, I want to say. Got an Airbnb, like this cheapest one I could find in literally Los Angeles. But it was actually in a nice area. But it was a fold bed in a 1-bedroom apartment that 3 people lived in. So I had this like little bed that every time you got off it, it would like snap shut.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking sick, okay. And then I was there and I was taking the metro bus, 2 buses to USC, and then cycling from the bus stop to the pool. And I did that for a month, and I just fell in love with swimming again. And like the way that Dave was coaching, which is not super far what we're doing. Like it was the start of this new approach to swimming. And just a really great team. I started, like Chad had left my coach back in South Africa. So I was like starting not to have, I was like almost the best on the team, I guess. And I never liked that. Like whenever I became the best on the team, I'd go to another team. So I was like having a bit of that. So now I was at Trojan and I was like one of the worst. I was like, oh, this is my comfort zone. I like this. We had at that point like 10 to 15 Olympians from all over the world, some of the greatest swimmers, world record holders. It was insane. And it wasn't weird to be like making content here in LA. Like it was a completely different response from like just people like out in public just seeing you with the camera. Like no one was like judging me, and I just felt freedom that I hadn't felt before. And I was like, fuck, okay, this is cool. Let me use swimming as a format to tell my story, or like to just make these videos about swimming, but eventually like it could be anything. And that was the goal. So I came back home and I was like, Dad, this is what I want to do. He obviously supported that 100%. He was like sad, but like he supported it. I was with Courtney obviously already at that time. She supported it 100%. So I kind of just made that decision like, okay, I'll go over and I'll keep swimming, but there's no expectation. There's no goal just yet. And then probably, obviously then 2019 moved over, and probably within like a month, I was like, I want to go to Tokyo. It was like fully relit the fire. I was like, I want to go to Tokyo. So I was training with Dave, getting faster for sure. But then also like starting a conversation about coming down to the 100 free. Really wasn't enjoying the 200. I think that for me, I started off on the 400 free when I was a kid, and I fucking, nothing made me more upset in the world than a 400 freestyle. But I was good when I was young. And I guess it's just everyone's good when they're young. But the coaches just hang on to that. And so I was never allowed to do anything else. And that made me like resent it so much. So then I begged to come down to the 200. And I was like, okay, thank God, this is a little bit better. But then I got a little taste of that 100. I was like, oh my God, dude, let me come down to the 100, please. And so I spent most of 2019 just like arguing with Dave, like, dude, I'm not a good 100 freestyle because no one will let me do 100 freestyle. Just let me do it. Like, help me build muscle, help me learn. Like, just this is what I want to do. So we did start doing that. And I think I won one of the Trojan 100 frees or something. 49. I don't know. I started doing better, and I was like getting close to like 49 low, and like 48 was what I was trying to get. And I was still doing the 200. We were keeping that on the back burner. But Tokyo was coming up, and then obviously COVID stepped in, and literally the day that I was going to fly home for Olympic trials for South Africa was the day they closed the airports.
March 17th or whatever.
Yeah. And I just remember that day was so crazy because
it was a crazy day.
It was insane because
was that like the basketball, like NBA mid game would get canceled? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't ever really watch basketball, to be honest, but I think we had gone to morning training. We had come home, and my home situation at that point was me and my roommate, Alex Gray, Alabama swimmer, one of my best friends. And obviously we had the news on because shit was like starting to pop off. I want to say it was Alexei. He's like a Russian teammate of ours at Trojan. It might have been him or someone else, but someone like messaged the Trojan group and was like, they're going to cancel the Olympics. This is fucked. Everything's going. And it was just like, what? And I like put the volume up and I was like, wait, what's going on? And then like the news just progressively every minute was starting to get more aggressive. And I was like, oh, this is weird. The next thing I'm in this new WhatsApp group that like just gets created that's like Olympians abroad for South Africa, and it's all the other South African Olympians that train outside of South Africa, which is a lot of us. And at that point there was a lot of us, and it's all of them freaking out, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, what is happening right now? Then I don't know if this is later that day or if it bled into the next day, but there was talks of repatriation flights, South Africa sending us like a plane to come home. Are they going to let us race here if we can't come home? How's this going to work? Are they going to take qualifying times from last year? Like what? Like now panic's starting to kick in a little bit because, you know, I started taper kind of. I was like,
right, you had
I was like ready. Yeah, I was like ready to race and see my family. So yeah, I genuinely can't remember if that happened over 1 or 2 or 3 or even a week. I don't know what, I can't, it was crazy. Yeah. It was just a blur. But long story short, obviously we all know COVID kicked off and I got stuck in LA for a year.
And you couldn't swim at trials?
Couldn't go to trials. I honestly don't even know if we had the trials at that point. Courtney was in South Africa. She got stuck there for a year. We were separated for that year. I was stuck in my apartment downtown with Alex. We kept training with Dave, but then like every week something would get taken away. Like it would be like, oh, you could do it, but between this time. And then it was like, oh, okay, you have 30 minutes. Oh, okay, we've got to go to this pool. Oh, okay, we can't go to that pool. We got to go to this pool now. Oh, okay, we can't go here every day. We can go here every 2 days. Oh, we can go here once a week. And it just got worse and worse and worse.
When did your back thing happen?
So then I'll work that into this. It just, it became like no days of swimming then. It was just me in this apartment in a bad area in LA, across from like a field. And I would at least try and go to the field every day with weights and try and do like work. And I'd run and I'd just spend like 2 hours trying to stay active. But then at the same time, the crypto NFT world started exploding. And me and my roommate, we're both autists. Nearly said autistic. We're both autistic and like creative leaning. And we wanted to, we just I don't know, we kind of both understood what that movement was like really fast. And I personally started like designing 3D surfboards and selling surfboards like digitally, and I was making crazy money. And we were like, oh shit, this is like a whole thing. And it was like fully like Wolf of Wall Street vibes. Like my room, the living room, his room, both our doors open, just shouting at each other like, bro, I just picked this up for this much. Quickly, how much can you flip it for? Like from like 5 a.m. to like midnight every day. Just like making thousands of dollars a day. Crazy stuff. So swimming, I was like, okay, it's fine. I can't swim right now. It seems okay. Because I'm more financially secure than I've ever been. But in doing all that, I'm sitting at a desk now, where I was swimming for like 2 hours, gymming for 2 hours, stretching, moving around, cycling. I'm sat at a desk now. And I think over time that just deteriorated my back a little bit, and my muscles weakened, and bad posture, all of that together. Long story short, I woke up one day and my back was a bit sore. The next day was worse. The next day was worse. Eventually, I literally couldn't even walk. And I went to the doctors, whatever, got x-rays, and I had three herniated discs. They wanted me to do surgery straight away. I said, no, that's crazy. I'm young, like I'm tall too. I'm 6'5", so the odds of me facing these challenges in the future is probably pretty high if we should do surgery now. I don't know what the next option is again down the road. So yeah, and if you're watching this and you're not from America, American healthcare is like mind-blowingly confusing and also like non-existent. So I don't even know what I was doing in the earlier days. I like didn't know how to get help. Like I couldn't get help. That was the most worrying part. I couldn't fly home because I couldn't at that point even like stand. It just got worse and worse every day. It triggered my sciatica at some point, which is the nerve that runs down through your hip down to your toes. And once that got triggered, I was completely immobilized. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't brush my teeth standing. I couldn't do my shoelaces. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I was in bed for months, literal months. That's now towards the end of quarantine. So like travel had started opening up a bit. Courtney had made her way over and was like fully looking after me like I was a crippled. Like put a wooden plank across the bed on our 2-side table so I could put a laptop on there. Started teaching myself 3D and fashion design. Figured, holy fuck, I'm going to have to get a job because I'm going to need thousands of dollars to pay for surgeries. Like I at that point, I thought there was a chance I might never like be okay again. It got that bad. Started applying for jobs, got a job.
Wait, can you talk about your flight back to South Africa?
That's coming.
Okay.
Got this job. Told them in the interview, like, can only take this job if you give me a standing desk. They're like, we have one, but that's like, chill, dude. And I was like, no, I cannot sit. Because at that point now, all I could do was stand. I couldn't sit because the sciatica would trigger, and it was like blinding. Dude, no one will ever understand how serious this was. Like, I feel like I would tell people and they're like, oh, yeah, my back, I've hurt my back. Dude, I was crippled. Yeah. I was fully crippled. All my friends had to see it because they had to like take me to hospital several times, and like I'd have to be on all fours in the back of the car because I couldn't sit. So I'd be like on my hands and knees. So like all my friends got to see me like in this worst. I probably got down to like 75 kgs, lost so much weight, looked like, literally, it sounds crazy, I looked like I was insanely sick. And I just felt like that was the lowest I ever felt. I was just really going through it. Didn't know what to do, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. Knew I needed money, so I got the job. Had this whole plan of how I was going to drive for 10 minutes, get out, quickly stretch because my leg would just lock, and was trying to figure out like these plans on how I'd even get to work in downtown LA, which was like a 45-minute drive. And then I was like, okay, no, I can leave my car and I can just take the metro, because then if like I spaz out like in a cramps, I can just like throw my body on the floor and like try and get straight and like release myself, or like had all these crazy plans just to get to work.
This is Fashion Nova.
Yeah. Okay. This is Fashion Nova. Sean's so good with subtleties. Yeah. So maybe 2 months in, maybe a month in, my dad's health starts deteriorating, but pretty quick. But I don't think I like understood that it was getting that bad. Like you just hear things sometimes, and maybe part of it was like I just didn't want to, like I knew, but I didn't want to like accept it. But I got a call from my sister the one day when I'd do these morning walks where I'd try and walk like 2 blocks, literally there and back, and it would take me an hour. Like it would be like,
because you're like shuffling. Not
even shuffling, bro. It was like millimeters at a time. And if there was a root from a tree,
you would trip on it. Like
over it, that would take me like 10 minutes to navigate. Like I couldn't lift my leg. It was, this is not exaggerated. It was the most insane time of my life.
Yeah.
And I was on this walk and my sister called me and she was like, you need to come home. The doctor said dad's going to go soon. And I was like, well, I was like, no, that's not true. He's fine. Obviously he's going to be fine. And she's like, no, you like for real, you've got to come home like tomorrow. I was like, I can't even afford a flight home. I've been working here for like a month. Also, hello, I can't sit. And they were like, okay. I don't know even if they even fully understood at that point, because they hadn't seen me. I've been in America. I have 2 sisters. I don't think they even at that point understood how bad that whole back situation was. So they were like getting frustrated probably with me. Like, dude, I'm telling you our dad's sick and you're like complaining about a seat. And I was like, okay, could we try and get like a business class flight and I could try lay down? And I like felt like the biggest fucking asshole saying this shit because my sisters are offering to like help me pay for this. And I'm fucking asking for a business class flight home to South Africa, like the furthest country ever. Yeah, and I don't know. It's also such a blur this time. Like my mind shuts off in these kind of moments. It really does. I just go kind of like I just can't like perceive what's happening. So I like phoned my boss and I just started crying because then I was like starting to realize like, oh, I'm phoning him to ask for this time off. Like this is real. And he was super good and really supportive. And he was like, dude, just go. We'll figure it out. So I was like, and this is all I'm like standing in the street, like on this walk. And it's like all progressing over like an hour. I'm like, phone my sisters back. I'm like, okay, they've said I can leave. But I still I can't afford anything. I don't have any money for this. And my sisters were like, no, we'll pay for this. Don't worry, just come as soon as you can. Like, just get the soonest flight you can. It wasn't business class. So I'm like, fuck. Not even understanding how I was going to do this because I literally couldn't do anything. But I was like, just whatever, however this happens, it's happening. Like it's just, when things just start moving and you like just get caught up in it and you're like, oh, there's not even time to think. It's like, this is just due. So I don't even know how, but I was on that flight. I was in my seat for takeoff because they force you to. And while I'm sitting there, my entire leg's just a block, just completely cramped, just locked up. I'm in excruciating pain. The second you can rip the seatbelt off, I was in the back of the plane telling the air hostesses like, you can get upset with me as much as you want. I'm going to be standing at the back of here the entire flight for 16 hours. And they were like, no, you can't do that, sir. It's like I was like, it's happening. And I've explained the situation or whatever. Yeah. And I don't even know if they were cool with it or not, but I was like, dude, it is what it is. Unless you want to put me in business class. And they didn't.
In our very first meeting, when we not first met, but when we first met at the gym.
You and I?
Yeah. Do you remember that? You told me this story, and this part, like you standing in a plane for 16 hours, was so jarring to me that it left like a very.
You remember it?
Yeah, I remember it very vividly. Like how
I can't even
endure that for that long.
I don't even know that I was like having a tough time with it.
You didn't have a tough time.
Like, I don't even remember being like, oh, that was fucking crazy. Like,
it was so hard that your brain just decided to forget about it.
I think I probably would, dude, I would love to be a fly on that airplane, not a wall, whatever that is, window. Yeah. And like see myself, I was probably just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was like a statue. I was just, because also I was like trying to process what was happening as well. So it was way too much all at once, and I was just shut down as a human. Like there was nothing, my brain wasn't on.
Yeah. And then you get to South Africa, and then
so I land in South Africa. I don't even know if I like got in a wheelchair or it's all black. I don't know what happened. Someone picked me up, probably my sisters. I was probably laid out in the back of a car somewhere. They took me home. Got to spend the last 10 days with my dad as he passed. And then whilst I was also home, Courtney's brother is I don't know what he is, but he's in the medical field. Like he's a really smart, talented dude. And he connected me with like this really great surgeon. And I told the surgeon the whole same story. I was like, dude, I really can't do surgery. And like every time I'm telling these different doctors and physios, they're like, bro, you're fucking, like, you can't walk, dude. You need to do surgery. I was like, dude, I can't. I'm young. What do you want me to do? Like, dude, this is gonna happen. Probably, like, with, tall people have back issues. Like, what am I gonna do, bro? Like, for real, I've got to be smart right now. If there's any way to not do this, let's figure it out. And he's like, there's probably not. But he has this, like, I think it was called like a lumbar punch or some weird, like, cortisol. I don't know what the fuck any of that was called. There was some crazy injection in my back. And he was like, this will at least get you home from South Africa. Like, standing or however you do it. Like, this will get you home. I was like, Jesus, okay. Again, just went through the death of my dad, so I was so switched off. Probably didn't even need that injection. Just got on the flight, can't remember a thing. I don't know if I stood then or if I was able to sit or what. Maybe I had like rows open and I could lay down across the chairs. I've kind of seen that in my mind, but I really couldn't tell you. I land, I go to our apartment where Courtney is. She couldn't leave the country to come home with me because of her visa. Which really was like really heavy on her. Like, Courtney's my rock through everything. So like not having her there for that was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. But at the same time, her knowing that she's there alone, also not getting to say goodbye to my dad, was heartbreaking because they had a really, really, really close relationship. So just fucking so many emotional things I'm dealing with on top of my back. Get home, I'm like a quarter of a human, like just really not functioning. Look, I just remember looking so terrible. Like, I saw a photo of myself that my sisters took of like all of us in the hospital together, and I was like, I don't even know who that is. Like this tiny kid. I looked like I was 12, like, and I was 27. It was mind blowing.
You look like you're 14 now.
Well, imagine, I'll probably look like I was 6. I looked like Schmeagol, bro. I was fucking going through it, man. And I just like couldn't walk. My eyes were like fucking sunken in. I looked like I was literally dying myself. Wasn't like seeing anyone, wasn't doing anything. I had to go straight back to work like pretty soon after. I don't even know I can't recall any of those days, but it must have been like a few weeks or months after that where I decided, I was like, I can't do it. I'm not living. This isn't living. Like, I can't do this anymore. So I would I'd wake up and I'd like throw myself out of the bed onto the floor, and I would just stay there for like, no joke, 4 to 5 hours until I did something. Like, whether it was a squat or I got myself up standing straight. Like, standing straight was the hardest thing in the world. I could get myself standing and like be bent over, but like standing up with my head looking up was nearly impossible. So I'd literally spend every day for 4 hours stretching like the smallest little things, like just really fucking so intentional, like please body, please do something. I would try and take one extra step every day when I did the walking part of the recovery. So I was like, built this whole recovery system for myself. And that slowly started to work, like very, very slowly.
Wait, so you didn't have professional help or anything? This was all on your own?
Yeah, because, well, I had like virtual help and people giving me advice and stuff. But when I tried to get the physio through my health insurance, they sent me to Skid Row. That's not a joke. And I was like, dude, there's not even anyone here. Like, what the fuck? That's not a joke, dude. America, y'all need to figure this shit out. It's fucking ridiculous.
We do as a country.
It genuinely blew my... I was like, okay, this is fully fucked. And I was with a company, so I wasn't like on some bullshit health insurance.
Right.
Like, no, dude. My preferred doctor was on Skid. I'll tell you this. I put the address that they gave me into my fucking Uber. The Uber probably wasn't even an Uber. It was a friend driving me because I was on my hands and knees and my back. And I got out and it was Skid Row. That's what I'm telling you. That's just the truth. Whether that was a mistake, I don't know, but I could not get physical help, like physical therapy help. And
so you healed yourself.
Yeah, and I don't even know that the physios would have led me down that path. They probably would have just kept pushing me for surgery because just everyone had been so adamant. So it was probably better that I just figured it out myself.
What did you do?
Just that 4 hours a day, like really fucking like just like begging the universe, like begging myself, like Calvyn, this can't be it. This can't be it.
This is a recurring thing.
Why?
Because every time you have a shoulder thing, right? You go into the shower.
Yeah.
And you meditate on your shoulder.
Well, I think the back just taught me that you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can. And like, fuck, dude, I was just praying. I was meditating. I was as high as a cat.
Yeah.
But I was just really like, dude, desperate beyond measure.
For context, Calvin's probably had like 2, not very serious, but very minor shoulder aches.
Like flare-ups. Yeah.
In practice where, you know, he could still swim, but he can't go all out like on the Destro or whatever. And it's frustrating, right? Because like you can't, everyone else is training hard and we kind of have to go easy, throw fins on, whatever. And, you know, we do all the traditional things to try to get it better, gets better a little bit. But every single time you go into the shower and what he does is he just really focuses on that area and thinks about it, and you breathe in and then you exhale. Walk me through that entire process.
It sounds and like
it sounds
it
so
is
woo-woo.
It is that simple, and it sounds ridiculous, and like, oh, that obviously only works for some people, but like, and that I don't know about, but it was exactly that. Like I would get in the shower and get really warm so that my muscles were warm and they were moving nicely, and then I would just, I don't even know how long I'd be in there, maybe like 30-40 minutes, and I would just find positions that were painful, like pushing my arm up against the walls of the shower or whatever it was. And like for me, it was this kind of like hand above my head in the corner of the shower between the 2 walls, and I would just push down and lean into that. And it would get so sore, and then I would be like, okay, that's the spot. And I just try and get my breath to a point of not sounding like I was in pain. So at least my breath was sounding like I was just breathing calmly. And then slowly your body starts to like, you can feel like a lion, not like a roaring lion, like a lion. My accent, I felt like I had to clarify that. Like a point between a point, like that.
Point A to point B line.
Like
yeah,
that
got
line,
it.
not a
roar.
Not a South African line. You kind of see this, or I don't even know if I see it or I feel it, but like there's a line between these 2 points, and you follow the line and you breathe the line, and then you're at that point and you just breathe into that point, and you breathe and you breathe, and you kind of like every exhale, it's like less of that point. You're dismissing the point, and it works.
With every exhale, you're shrinking.
I'm breathing into the pain. It's my pain. I own this pain. It's out. I just breathed it out my body. And it's like that over and over and over and over and over.
The mind is so powerful.
It is. And I've just always believed that.
Psychology of pain is not understood at all, I think.
Not enough.
I think it's starting to get understood. People are studying it, but
not enough.
It's so powerful. Because there's a video out there, if you look it up, with Connor.
Yeah.
He's talking about
I think that definitely was a part of it. Like right? I'd seen that video before.
He's like, you just have to breathe it in. And that's a terrible accent, but.
It's that, and also.
But you have to, in order for this to work, you have to believe in it. You can't do it like, okay, I'm breathing into my pain, it's not working. You know?
Can I be honest? I don't even know that I believe in it 100%. I just know that I will do anything to feel better, and I don't dismiss it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I got in the shower going, this is going to work and I'm going to be fine. But I'm open-minded enough to get in the shower and go, I will give this 100% of my effort, and I will be present, and I will really try this.
Mm-hmm.
I will truly, really try this.
Because it doesn't hurt to try this.
No, nothing. And I try and use this approach with everything in my life. Like I will truly give you my best effort. Like I will give you everything I have. Like
I've seen that.
It doesn't matter. I don't know. Just, I'm never someone that's embarrassed of failing, or like embarrassed, like, of like, even if it was just a conversation with myself of going into the shower and breathing and like, oh dude, what was that? Like, what are you doing? You know, like it's fuck it, dude. I'll do that.
Anything.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We got to go back because we're completely dismissing the fact that you went to every single doctor. They all tell you to get surgery. You can't sit. When you stand, you have to bend over. Your back pain is like debilitating.
Yeah.
And you just meditated your way out of this.
Well, and the 4 hour stretching.
4 hour stretching, yes.
That was really helpful because swimming gives you a weird understanding of yourself that no one else can, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get to a good level of swimming, you only get there because you understand how to move in certain ways, and you know your body somewhat well. Now, even in just saying that, since I've joined you, I'm learning my body in ways that I've never learned before. So there's levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that base level of understanding, you're a lot more in tune and intuitive about your body than most people. So when I'm doing those 4 hours of stretching, I'm able to do exercises that are around the pain without using those muscles that are painful.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost built up muscle around all the impacted areas that I could rely on. So I substituted parts of my body with other parts of my body.
You're building the helpers.
Yeah, like I almost built crutches within my body.
Right.
So,
but that's...
that took the pressure off my body to allow it to heal, I think.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have such a high level understanding of yourself to be able to do that.
But I don't know, because I don't even consider myself. There's people on our current team that are far more in tune with themselves. I'd say everyone is probably more in tune with their body than I am, but
it's a different kind.
It's a different kind, yes. But I think it all comes down to determination, really.
You're determined.
Like I said.
I mean, it was sink or swim at that point for you.
Yeah, it was probably past determination. It was desperation. It was like, this is my option, or I'm going to be crippled. And because there was an element of it getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like it was a year of constantly getting worse.
Right.
And you can imagine in my mind, I was like, oh, this is the scariest thing I could imagine. Like I'm very ADHD, as you know, that I can't not move all over the show. So for me to like
be still,
think of a world where I can't walk or can't move, well, I was like, dude, it was dark.
So how long did it take for you to get better?
Over a year. Over a year.
A year of stretching 4 hours every day, breathing.
That part probably like 7 months, 6 months. But like this whole process was like a year and 6 months, I would say.
18 months.
Yeah, I would say about that.
And then, okay, after 18 months, when is this? This is 2021?
So there was
22?
like one day in particular where I did something. I don't know what I did, what activity it was. Or I did something and I realized it wasn't painful.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, wait, it's like, what? And like, I feel like Courtney was next to me or something. And I like looked at her and I was like, maybe it was tying my shoelaces.
I just got a little emotional.
Why?
I don't know.
Dude, it was emotional, bro. I had to rely on Courtney so heavily. She had to brush my teeth. She had to tie my shoelaces as an Olympic athlete.
Yeah. That gets me emotional.
That was the most like pathetic I've ever felt in my life. Like she's just looking at me like sobbing my eyes out every day. Like I just felt, dude, I was embarrassing. It really was. Like I was.
You owe Courtney your life, bro.
No, Courtney is like the reason I'm here for real. But like,
what did you call her? Your Wi-Fi or something?
My Wi-Fi?
Yeah, you called her like we were at dinner, and you called her like, if without her I can't operate because she's my.
I forget you. We were at Forget a Child.
Yeah. It was like you called her your Wi-Fi or like your routing number. Or,
that's funny. I can't remember what I said, like but whatever I said was accurate.
It's true.
Like she's like the reason I can operate. She's my operating system. Yeah. Like she like is.
Oh, you're like, if she's not plugged in, I don't operate or something. If sometimes like
if I'm not plugged into her, like you get what we're saying. Yeah. It's and it's true. Like she occupies. I've let go of a part of my brain because I have her.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Like she fulfills a part of me that I can't or I don't have.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be here I wouldn't have ever got through that period. I probably would have ended it or some shit. I don't know. Dude, it was dark. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she was the rock. She got me there. I healed up. There was a definitive moment when I did something, and in that moment I realized, fuck, that wasn't painful. I was like, fuck.
I'm good.
Not even, I was too scared to think that, but I was like, oh, progress. I can like progress. And I like that day got into the pool again.
That day?
Yeah.
Wow. That was your first time?
Yeah. And I could not swim, and it was painful to swim, and I couldn't do much, but I'm in the water, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy.
That's interesting that the first place you decided to test it out was the
Because
water.
there's zero gravity and everything, you know.
Got it.
It wasn't necessarily like, oh, I love swimming. I was like,
This is 2021? 2022?
shit, I don't know.
When did you start swimming again?
With you.
No, before. You were swimming a little bit here and there.
What is this year? It was 25. I met you when did we meet at that one practice?
2024 November.
So this was probably like 23.
You started to kind of...
Like that I healed.
Okay.
So then it was like swimming like that like once a week for like 10 minutes. And then started swimming with Brett at that high school for like 2 weeks or something. Met you. And then...
So November 2024 was when you started your comeback.
Yeah.
That practice where we met?
Yeah, that was like
your first practice?
No, that wasn't the first practice, but that was like within like 2 weeks of the first practice.
So we were early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was, you were just swimming with him like once a week?
Like twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, and I was swimming at a pool in my apartment building,
Right.
but like that wasn't training.
Right.
No, I will never consider that training. That was understanding how to move in the water again.
What were you doing January, February this year?
I was still with Brett.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then he went a direction and I
Right.
went a direction, and honestly, you fucking saved me, dude. For real.
I guess.
Yeah,
If you want to call it.
You were overseas, and I messaged you and I said, dude, I don't know what's going on.
I was overseas?
Yeah, were you not? Or you were out of state in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And I messaged you and I said, I don't know what's going on,
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't a part of that trip.
Uh-huh.
And my future with that team was looking uncertain.
Uh-huh.
And you had said that you can't say what's going on because you had signed NDAs.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay. Yeah.
but that's potentially there would be a way that you could help me swim, or
Yeah.
you could help coach me.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude. I don't even know you that well, but cool. Okay. And then I think I came to the gym, or I don't know if that was after the gym or before the gym.
Initially, you wanted just strength training.
Yeah.
You wanted to just strength train.
Okay. How long after that conversation was like the first, like,
It was about a month.
was it?
Because I think that picture that we took where you looked depressed was
Sean's
March.
got this before photo of me that's pretty tough to look at.
You're shorter. There's one by the logo, and then there's one where we took a before photo.
Under
And
the lights in my
before,
spot.
the before photo, his hair's long. You look short. You're pale. You're sad.
I'm like soft. My body's
You're
like
soft.
soft.
That was March, and then April was the first practice that we did with.
That's crazy. Yeah, honestly, for context, I think you need a lot more credit for the fact that I'm even swimming, because without you putting a hand out, and I can't even imagine what went through your head during those days of finding the confidence within yourself to offer that as a businessman, putting that aside, because I couldn't pay you. I couldn't contribute anything to your life, but you still put your hand out and you offered me a place. And if you're a swimmer watching this, you know that you can't I'm sure a lot of swimmers say they train by themselves, but no one trains by themselves. Like, no one actually does that. Like, you might do a few sessions by yourself, but you're speaking with a coach, you're speaking with teammates. There's no athlete that is sole, like they're the only person. That does not exist. 100% that does not exist. And that's the conversations I was having with Courtney, because I'm an idiot, because if I like say something, it's like it's written, you know. And I told Courtney that start of that year, like January, I was like, I want to go to Olympics again. Like, my body's back. I'm not fucking around. Like, I'm using this body. Like, if this ever happens again, it could, you know, whether it does or doesn't. Right now, I'm healthy. I'm young. I'm able-bodied. I'm blessed. I'm I have zero excuses, so I'm giving this everything I have.
And you have so much potential left.
That I didn't even really know, because
do.
I hadn't explored the new training or anything. All I had known what I'd done in the past, right? So I didn't know necessarily like, oh, I'd get faster or anything. I was just like, I just want to like use my body one last time. Like, I'm 29. This is the beginning of the end, you know, like I can't do Olympics 6 years from now. Like, let me fucking gun for it. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, well, I enjoyed my body, and I'll look back fondly on that. But then, yeah, it all kind of started to fall away, and you really did step in and you offered a hand. It's the sole reason this is still going on.
Yeah, that first practice is actually Road to LA season 1, episode 1 was actually Calvyn's. So if you want to see what Calvyn's very first practice with us was, go check out Road to LA 28 season 1, episode 1. That was the first one.
Terrified of that, to be completely honest with you.
Of that practice?
Yeah, I was so scared.
Of the 50 free?
No, of swimming in front of you and you not seeing the potential in me and giving up on me.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely. You can ask Courtney. For like
you were scared of me?
Yeah, like I was crying the night before.
No.
Yeah.
You're
I was
lying.
like, this is the only person that's putting their hand up for me. If he doesn't if I don't like inspire him with my swim tomorrow, or if like he doesn't see something in me,
it's done.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And then I was like, could I move to New York? Could I move to Arizona? Like, I was like, didn't know what my options were.
Yeah, imagine you went like 26.50 free. I'd be like, get the hell out of here.
There was a world in which that was gonna happen, bro. There was a world in which that was gonna happen, dude.
No, you did. You did fine. By the way, he went 23.5.
Which I was like, oh shit, that's kind of good. I think that was a PB.
That was a PB. That was a PB.
I was fucking terrified,
and then I
bro.
made you do a 50 backstroke right after that.
Was not a PB.
And then Calvin went 29 and he was like on the floor. He could not.
Yeah,
move.
that was really crazy.
But dude, the progression that you've had this summer, like if you think about your entire story, with the back pain, the 16-hour flight to South Africa, you know, rehabbing yourself, breathing for 18 months to rehab, right? Swimming twice a week, and then swimming a 23.5 in April of this year.
Yeah, that
progression is crazy.
I guess I never thought about the 23.5 being a good progression, but it was, yeah.
Because that was step 1.
Yeah, but I'm just such an ambitious person that like once I decided to get back into swimming, my level of expectation was already Olympic level.
Yeah.
So the 23.5, although considering everything, is not unheard of, almost, but
I mean, it's not great.
It's not. I understood, like, obviously this isn't like, I was like, oh, that's not getting me to Olympics. So I didn't allow myself to indulge in that at all.
Right. I think that's where we have a really good working relationship, is like we're both very ambitious, and we understand this is the standard that we're striving to achieve.
Yeah. And I am an emotional person, but not with sport. And so I've never been someone that needs to be babied. Like, all my coaches have always been extremely honest with me and extremely hard on me. You're like the nicest coach I've ever had, but it's the different part of life now. Like, we're a similar age too. So
yeah,
it's a very different relationship we have. But like,
I feel like you're more of a friend, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's such an interesting dynamic. And everyone that I like tell, whenever I share your age as my coach, they're all like, oh, how do you, like, that's weird.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very jarring thought for me to like take instruction from someone my age, or to even like see you as wise enough at such a young age. And I'm sure you probably had some insecurities like that in the beginning. No?
Never.
Okay, good. That's great. But I could imagine another like 32 or 33-year-old coach being like, oh, I'm young, my swimmer's the same age. Like, how do I instill a confidence in them that
dude,
I know
Marina's older than me.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's our team is extremely, extremely unique.
It's very not normal.
No. So exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Ken's the youngest.
That's so weird, dude.
Ken's the youngest on the team.
That's
He's the assistant coach.
Weird, dude. That is so weird. That would not happen in like 9 out of 10 scenarios. Yeah, bro. And to you, you had my full faith from day one, bro. I didn't. The age wasn't even a thing, because I think at the end of the day, You should judge a person on their character and what they're capable of, not what they've done or who they are at that moment even necessarily. I knew I like saw the fire in you the same way I was feeling the fire, and I was like, that's all I need right now.
Like, I do really appreciate that trust that you've placed in me.
But it's the other way around.
Early on,
you
like,
stepped up for me.
Yeah, but like
I didn't. Truthfully, whether you were good or not as a coach, like I didn't have a choice. It's fucking amazing that you turned out to be a really.
I'm actually like a shitty coach. He doesn't know it, but I'm just making this stuff up as we go.
And genuinely, you're the most progressive coach I've ever had, and you've helped me the most. So I don't want to offend any coaches, and I've had my South African coach Graham Hill got me to Olympics, so that's huge.
I haven't gotten you to an Olympics.
No, but it's different. The level of my relationship with swimming now is more professional in the right ways than it's ever been, and I understand more than I've ever understood. Like you've seen it, I feel like, because I was honest with you when we met up, and I said I'm not like a good swimmer in terms of like I can't teach swimming, I don't know what I'm doing. But if you put me next to someone, I'll die trying to beat them. Like that's the only way I've ever swum, really. And I have my own little weird, unique relationship with swimming, and I've kind of created my own little stroke along the way. But most coaches coach halfway, and you coach 100% of the way. Like they're there 100% of the way in the pool and in the gym or whatever, and that's kind of where the relationship ends. But you're like a life coach too. Like you're a part of our lives. And I think that makes like a huge difference, and also your background being a swimmer helps you a lot because you also understand what we're going through.
Right.
So I think you're a weird concoction of all of these different elements that make you a really, really good coach and a really different coach. Like probably maybe not every swimmer would work well with you because you need to be a kind of specific swimmer to gel perfectly with, like I said, this like mix of all your elements. But if you are someone that can mix with all those elements, like, dude, you're an unreal coach.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I remember having a lot of these conversations early on in April.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna do this. Yeah. And that lit a fire up under my ass.
Yeah, and I
was like, if this guy's going to give me his life to put his trust into qualifying for the Olympics, and dude, I got to give it everything I got.
But you do, and it's so obvious to the athlete too. Like it's very obvious when a coach is there and they're like, yeah, they're giving you advice and they're speaking to you and they're watching you, but there's a level of presence that can be felt that you give. That's like, he's not just watching my stroke, but he's like thinking about my stroke. Or he's not just like telling me the set. He's thinking about what this set's working on for me. And even if it's not individual, like if it's for us, like it's just, there's a level of thoughtfulness that you put in your coaching that and I've swum with most coaches around the world for many years, have never really experienced.
Interesting. We've been doing this for 155. I think this is the longest podcast we've ever done. No, this was really, we went through a whole emotional journey. It was great. But I want to talk just a little bit about what's coming up and plans moving forward, and then we can wrap it up. But yeah, this summer, obviously we started at 23.5. Grand Challenge was 23.0. I think 23.1. You were so disappointed because we wanted that 22. And by the way, Calvin's first 22 was in practice. Do you remember?
Yeah,
I still remember that. We were in lane
Santo.
Yeah,
I was in the lane closer to the wall.
Yeah, lane 1 or lane 8. Went 22.8, and then we were gonna do it at LEI. Didn't do it in the prelims.
I did do it in the prelims. 22.8. No, you're right.
Prelims at LEI because your hand slipped.
I missed my dive.
You missed your dive, and then 22.8 in finals.
In finals, yes.
22.5,
6
at sectionals.
22.6, then 22.4.
4 at finals, and then 22.4 again in prelims at nationals, and then 22.3.
Yeah.
And then we got US Open coming up.
Yeah.
And all your times in practice and training are faster
They
than what
are.
you've been hitting in summer.
Yeah, I feel confident. I'm not trying to like.
We don't need to.
I'm not trying to be
Yep.
like crazy on top of myself, but I know what I'm capable
Yeah.
of, and I'm trying to fulfill that potential.
I just want to remind you, there's a lot left in there.
Yeah, and whether again,
And I'm so excited about that.
I'm in a good spot, and I feel on track enough that it's like even if it didn't happen now in December, like that's not going to deter me because
No.
I know the path that I'm on is it's a long journey, and that's also what's crazy. Like, you like agreed to giving me 3 years of your life
Yeah. And you
as
agreed
a
to
dad
giving me
of two. Yeah, but you're a
3
dad
years
of
of my
two
life.
two children and a business. I don't have anything.
you
know.
you have some things.
Yeah, I've built things up and whatever, and I obviously have careers I'm trying to pursue, but I don't have that level of responsibilities where I have employees or I have a family in that aspect. But yeah, it just means a lot to me, bro. And I hope you understand how grateful not only I am, but I'm sure the whole team is.
Mhm.
And to you, Sid, not just Sean, like you guys as brothers really like took me in as like a lost old swimmer. It's true though. It's like that's how it feels. Like it really did feel like that. Like I felt super alone. I felt like I had the dream, but like it was so dark around me. Like I didn't know which way the light even was. And then you guys both really like stepped in and like made me feel not only like I could do it, which is a big thing, because you don't always have that confidence in the beginning stages again when you've like lost it all. You guys like really helped me like get back on track and like start to feel good about myself again. Like I remember like starting to feel like proud of myself again. I was like, oh,
The
I'm not
confidence is
useless.
coming back. Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck this. I can be someone.
No, you excite me
I appreciate that.
because there's so much, and I see from not just from like a spiritual side of things, but also from just a number side. Like you're not that great. Like sorry, no offense, but like
be honest,
you're not that great. Like
I'm not a good swimmer,
and
technically.
in weight room stuff, there's a lot of numbers we can improve. Like
Oh,
you know, I feel almost like I'm. Have you seen that movie Blood Diamond? DiCaprio.
the only movie that ever has South African accents. He asked if I've seen.
They like find that diamond, right? But like I feel like I found a diamond in the rough,
Oh, that's nasty.
and
Thank you.
like everyone's mining, right? Everyone's mining for little itty bitty pieces, and then I'm just sitting in the corner, and then think, what is that? Pick it up.
It's a little diamond.
No, it's
big?
It's a big one, but it's covered in mud.
Oh, okay.
It's rough. It's a diamond in the rough. And
I
then
see.
I look around.
Put that one in your
one's up.
pocket.
Oh shit! Okay. I'm gonna hide this in my pocket. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna polish it.
That's so nice.
That's kind of what it
Keep
feels like.
polishing me, baby.
No, that's what it feels like. I feel like
That means a lot, man.
we're uncovering, we're clearing the mud away.
That feels nice to hear. Thank you.
You know. Okay. Anyways, you have a Studio Justus. Is your brand?
Oh, yeah.
We're plugging.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
gonna plug.
Yeah, I brought it. I was gonna wear it, but it's so cold today.
Oh, can I see it?
Ye-
Woo!
You've seen it because we shot this in this gym.
Should we put it on?
Oh, it doesn't even have
Live?
the no, because this isn't the final one. This doesn't even have the label, and the color of the silicone graphic down the center front is slightly different. But this gives you enough of an idea.
Should I wear it right now?
No, because I just
Oh,
told you it's not the right one.
Sorry.
But Sean's
drop-
been super supportful. That's not a word. Supportive of you're good at that. You're very good at helping people like with the things that they're pursuing.
Because I think everyone should pursue their potential.
Yeah, but not
I wanna
everyone's
help.
actually like will offer help. Offering help and receiving help is the hardest part of things. And like you can't even, sometimes it's not even help you can ask for because you don't even know what you need. But like you're good at like being like, hey, or like just on your own, you'll just go off and do shit and like try and help. And it's that's a great quality of you. And you offered me your space in the gym here, and I did a shoot with Santo and with Sid, and they both helped me when I like can't afford a fucking photographer or models or anyone. And ASP stepped in and helped me out, and they're still not available.
Come on, man.
I'm trying so hard.
When is the drop?
But when is this going up?
Monday, right, Sid?
Oh, that's fast, dude. Okay, I'll try for Monday.
Monday.
I'll try. There's a
What's one day?
there's a 80% chance.
What's
Just
Monday?
go. If there's a link below here,
It's
I did it.
probably okay.
there's
What's
an
your
80%
website?
chance I'll do it.
StudioJustus.com
www.studiojustus.com.
and Instagram Calvin Justus, YouTube's Calvin Justus.
Yeah.
He's got a new YouTube video coming out.
Yeah, so
I think.
just so much shit to do. Yeah.
Well, let's get you going then, so you can do all your stuff. Can you leave us a question for our next guest?
Oh shit. Okay. I've been fucking get out of it. I've been thinking a lot recently about regret because I think it's easy to say that you move through the world without regret. Like people like to say that, and I've always said that I don't regret anything, and I still don't think that I do. But I do wonder if I could go back to any, doesn't have to be like a specific day, or it could be like a period. If I went back to a time in my life, is there a way that I would handle it? Is that my phone? Oh my god. Is it making noise? Sorry, my phone's been ringing. I'd go back to a point, and not how would I handle it differently, but how would I learn from it better? Or like how could I take something from those moments and move forward in a better way? Because we've all had experiences and things in life that we overcome and we get through, but
Could you have extrapolated?
could you
more from
have
that?
grown more as a person from that moment?
Do you have that? Do you have an example?
This is for the next episode to answer.
So what's your question?
The question is there a moment in your life that you can go back that you don't regret, but you feel like you could have grown more as a person from, or like taken more of a lesson from?
But I feel like you can still do that in the present, because you can take whatever experience that happened and you can be like,
And so maybe this question will help that person realize that.
oh, so we're doing this lot. We're doing
Maybe.
like a therapy session.
Maybe it helps
live.
them realize that. Yeah.
Okay, so you got that? Okay, cool. Anything else you want to plug?
No, I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate you guys more than you could imagine, and let's just keep going. Just don't give up on me.
Sometimes I want to.
Don't.
I'm playing. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having me.